welcome to episode 1 of Let's Make a Song. I am Whiteout. I am here in FL Studio 11, prepared to make a new project. First, for my genre, I'm gonna go with a Trapstep song, which is a mixture of trap and dubstep, as the name implies. So, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and make a limiter on the master track, just to make sure that the noise doesn't get too much to handle. Should the ceilings down a little bit, as well as the gain. Kind of a little bit of a noise gate here. Alright. So, what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna build the drum kit for the main part. I'm gonna use some samples that I had from before. I like this kick here. A reverby snare. It's your standard 808 hat. Alright. I'm gonna rename these so that you can easily see what they are. Well, here are the standard trap drums. I'm gonna add a couple more elements to it. Make sure that there's a little more to work with than just these three. I definitely need an open hat. I think I like this one right here. I'm gonna go with that. Okay. So first I'm gonna build a standard sounding drum beat. One, two, three, four, and 2, 3, 4, and. Alright, that's pretty basic. I can work with that though. I'm gonna keep the hat, snare, and kicks all separated, just so I can mess with the order of it. Snares on 3, simple. Now I'm gonna make a standard closed hi-hat, 8 notes. First I'm gonna set it to be 2 measures. Next, I'm gonna use 16th notes. Make that Alright, and next I'm going to make a variant pattern with the hat. I'll just call it hat X, just for right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a standard sounding hi-hat beat and add a little bit into it. So let's see, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm gonna do this. So yeah, 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2 and hold on, let's see. Hold on a second. Alright, so this is pretty usable. We'll see what this sounds like on here. Alright, there's something about that kick. It's not tight enough, I don't think. So I'm gonna route all of these into the mixer and mess with the equalizing on that kick. Sounds a little better. Maybe a compressor. A little too much gain. Alright, that's cool. That's cool. Alright. Now I wanna make some sort of a melody, I guess. I wanna try out this new plugin I have. This is a non-typical plugin for FL Studio. This is something that I had to download on my own. What it does is it creates 8-bit sounds in the standard shapes like square, triangle, noise, pulse, and then this is a it's like a pulse with an extra bit of detuning to it. Yeah. So yeah, that's the basic setting of the sounds, and then you have all of these different things that you can do with it. For a bass, I recommend using square. Either that or pulse. For chords, I would say use a triangle. That is not in the right octave. Yeah. And melodies, you can use any of them except for noise. Noise is more for percussion. It's kind of a little improvisation there. But basically, this can work for any part of the song that you want. But I'm going to make a melody with a square sound. Alright, that's basically it. I might try and use pulse a little bit. That's a little too Pokemon sounding for me. This has that smooth sound that I want to use. Alright, now turn the decay up a little bit so it has like a reverbish. That's way too much release. Alright, that's better. So I'm going to use that for a melody. So I'm going to play this on my keyboard and just try and get something out of it. I'm going to play in the key of A. So let's see what we have here. I guess that can sound good. So it's one and two. I'm gonna change the snap to step. So it's one, two, and one and two and three and. Alright, that's pretty cool sounding. Let's see what I can get under that. 1, 2, 3, and da, da, da. There's a decent sounding bass line part. Going to cut that and put it on a separate channel. Now I'm gonna make the bass with this. I'm not gonna use a square, I'm gonna use a pulse 12.5. Volume's gonna be the same, release is the same, attack is standard, and decay is a little less. Alright, and now to post this on here. So we get that's not what I wanted. This is the one I want. Let's see what it sounds like down an octave. We'll put those sounds together and see how that works. So we have a melody and a bass line, and also a decent sounding drum beat. Right. So, what we do next is build more of a dubstep style drum beat with a new drum kit that I will be using standard FL Studio sounds for. Alright, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort all of these to their place. Trap drums, there, all, let's do this. It's a good sounding kick. That's also a good sounding kick. Alright, that sounds like it would be good together with that. Alright, and now we build a snare. Definitely not that. Definitely that. That's a great sounding snare right there. There we go. And so let's see what this part sounds like. That's not what I wanted to do. Alright. So, let's do this. Different colors. Green. And now to load these drums into the mixer as well. Okay, and now I'm gonna make some hi-hats for that. Alright, use that. I can use that. I can use that. I'll put this on beat 2 of everything. And so now we have this pattern. And now what we could always do is take the hat and add it in there, and it'll sound like this. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do to start the song out is I'm going to start by making the section B to the drop, which would be the more melodic segment, and I will start that with the second 16 measures. That's not where I want that. I will go ahead and make the drum part. for that. Alright, and I just keep making this different until we get a set that we can loop. It'll give it a little more diversity in the sounds. And this section I'm going to make a little bit more complex with the gigs. One, two, three, and I can change the snare too. Let's try this. Yeah. Alright, so now all together we have. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge the pattern clips and rename it Step Drums. But let's go. So now all of this is those 4 clips put together. And I will put that for 16 measures, so I can make the B drop. Now I'm going to base this bass line off of this. I'm going to change this name here so I don't get confused. Okay, so now this bass line right here, I'm going to make a Harmer FM bass that I can mimic sort of this pattern right here and make a good bass. First I gotta rename the hats. Now I'm going to make an FM bass with Harmor. Alright. Alright, that'll sound good. I'm going to turn on some... Alright, and a compressor, definitely. Alright, and now I'm going to give it a wobble effect by changing this unison pitch to do something like this. Alright, that's kind of a cool sound we have there. Alright, and it's got a good stereo effect on it. I'm gonna use that as my Harmor bass. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to piano roll, and I am going to make this a ghost channel. Alright, there's the ghost channel, which is way too low. Way too low. I'll just go ahead and move the pitch back up to 0 here. Alright, so now it can be on the same level as this. Now I'm not just going to have this pattern, but I'm going to variate it a little bit. That'll be cool. Take off the metronome. Hear it on here. Alright, and now I'm going to modulate it in a different way. Do the same basic thing. Alright. Alright, now, what do I want to do with this? I want to raise... Now, and what I can do on both of these now is get rid of the 8-bit bass. Okay, and so now what we have is this. Alright. Hold on just a minute. Merge these. Okay. So now there's that. All right. So if we're gonna import the melody here, sound Right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this pattern and put it on a different instrument just for this section. So copy that and I'll put it on some sort of citrus sound. I'll just use a preset for right now. Let's see what this sounds like. change it up a little bit. Alright, and I'll use this pattern instead. Alright, that's a cool sounding part for a B drop. That's not going to be complete, but it's going to be what I have for right now. Alright. That's the basic part for that. It's the bass that I'm using. I can of course add some counter melodies or chords into that, which I definitely want to have some kind of a chord progression there. What was the last thing I used? This one. Okay. Now, I want to use some other kind of citrus for chords. I'll rename this already. I'll just make this one from scratch, because chord sounds are easy in citrus. Definitely gonna make some reverb. Alright, that's a good chord progression sound. Alright. Alright, and I'm gonna look at the bass line for the basis of the chords. Let's see, 8-bit bass, definitely this needs to be cut off of it. Alright. Now, see what this sounds like right now. Right, so. That's cool sounding. Now we can put, that's not what I want. Yeah, edit, cut, just chords, and paste. Let's see what that sounds like with everything. I just got an idea. Where is it? So I'm going to save this new file. I started an episode before, but I ended up not liking the song that I was doing and ended up quitting, so I didn't post that one. But this one actually has a little bit of promise. On the last one, I had gotten just the drums put into the mixer, and it had already been an hour. By the time I had everything equalized, set up properly, it had been way too long. So I'm gonna add these into the mixer real quick. Oh, I've already put those in the mixer. Well, crap. I can just revert to last save. Fix that. Alright. Well, that's gonna be it for this episode. I will see you again shortly. And next, we will be starting on the A drop, the more bass heavy FM, growls, all that kind of stuff. All the fun parts. That's what we'll be working on next. And that is it for this episode. I'll see you all later.